It's time now to see in much more detail the revocation process. Let's go back to our diagram first. You can remember that when a user sends his email and password, Spring will authenticate the user and store token information in database 0 and generate an access token and a refresh token for the user. But in reality, between our mobile application and Spring, there is a component here, a filter. This filter is going to intercept all the requests incoming from our mobile application and redirect the request to our Tomcat, that is our dispatch servlet, and Tomcat will find the appropriate controller for us. Let's go back to our Spring Boot application. I'm going to restart the application. This is not an error and it does not affect our project. You can read here that security filter chain will secure any request with these filters. There are 12 filters listed here. When a request comes from our mobile application, it's going to pass through all these filters until it touches the authorization filters. We are going to focus on JSON Web Token filter and authorization filters. Let's go in JSON Web Token filter. JSON Web Token filter extend once per request filter, and once per request filter extend generic filter bin. When you extend this class, you need to override do filter internal method and implement a logic here. When a request comes from our mobile application and there is an authorization header, we capture that token and we consult the user detail that we add to our security context header. When a request comes from our mobile application and there's no token here, the request is going to continue and pass through all these filters until it touches the authorization filter. Let's go into authorization filter. Here I register the authorization filter. When a request comes from our mobile application and using this particular URL, our Tomcat will redirect the request to our controller, that's authentication controller here, and here particularly. I take the request body and a valid login information, and from that login information, I take the email and password, and I authenticate the user in app user service. Let's go in app user service. In app user service, I first check if the user is present in the database. If the user is present in the database and there's no issue with his account, I try to authenticate the user with his email and password. If it is a success, I then generate an access token and refresh token for the user. Let's test that now with Postman. I'm going to send this time a correct email and the wrong password, and we'll see something in the console here. Let's do that now. Let's send. We have access denied, but I'm going to show you another information. No, not here, but here. You see here, authenticating request with DAO authentication provider failed to authenticate since password does not match store value. When a user sends his email and password, if the password does not match what is in the database, the authentication provider will fail to authenticate the user. Let's go now in JSON token provider and explain the code there. We are going to focus in JSON token provider. We are going to focus on create access token and create refresh token. Here, when the user sends his email and password, I store in database 0 the information about the access token, also the information about the refresh token. I forget to mention that when you are building a revocation system, you need to have two databases, one for storing the active token and one for storing the revoked token. But here in this project, we are not storing the raw token, we are storing the token ID. So it is a revocation by ID. I'm going to send again an email and password, and you will see that in Redis that there will be two token ID. Let's do that now. I'm going to use Postman this time again and send the correct password. Okay, I'm going to manage the screen like that, and I'm going to connect first to our Redis. Okay, let's type. Okay, I'm going to verify that there are no token IDs present. Nothing. Let's go in database one also and verify that there are nothing there. Nothing. Let's go back to our database here. Okay, I'm going to send my credential. Okay, it's working. Let's verify. There are now two token ID in database. So we can verify on jsontoken.io that this token ID belong to the access token or to the refresh token. Let's do that now. Let's go to jsontoken.io and manage the screen like that and take this one also. I'm going to take this token and paste it here. You can see that this ID here matches this one. Let's take the refresh also. You can see that this ID here is the same here. So it's working. Let's do that also with the mobile application so that you can be sure that's work also for our application, our mobile application. Let's flash the database. This command should not be used in production. Okay. Where is our mobile application? Let's go to our mobile application and manage the screen like that. I'm going to do something like that. Okay. I'm going to set my credential as this time Bonnie Mathieu. It's Bonnie Mathieu. Okay, sent. Okay. Let's go in our database zero and verify that there are two token ID. There are two token ID. Let's verify the information associated with this token ID. Okay, it's belong to Bonnie Mathieu. Let's take the other one also. Okay, it's working. Perfect.